Hey guys, hope you're well. So in this lesson, we are going to start looking at simple interest versus compound interest. So this is something relating to finances with money. So interest can be a really good thing for you, but it could also be a not so good thing. For example, if you have money and you want to make your money grow, then you could invest your money and you will earn interest. So that will be a really nice thing for you because your money will increase. That is when you invest. But it can also be a bad thing. For example, if you go to the bank and you borrow money from the bank, let's say you borrow 10,000 Rand, you are going to actually end up paying back more than 10,000 Rand because then the bank is going to charge you interest. So interest can be good for you where it makes your money go up, but it can also be bad where it means that you have to pay back more if you borrow money. Okay, so interest, good and bad. So let's have a look. We get two types of interest. We get simple interest and compound. And in this lesson, I'm going to show you exactly how the difference goes, or the difference between those two. Okay, so let's begin. John invests. Okay, so this guy's investing money. So he's going to make his money go up. Okay, fantastic. So John invests 100 Rand and he's going to earn 10% interest per year. He will invest for 3 years. Okay, so determine the value of his investment if he uses simple interest. Okay, so all that you're going to do for simple interest, so this is for question A now, is you're just going to work out what is 10% of 100 Rand. So you're going to say 10% of 100 Rand of 100 Rand. Now remember, of means multiply. So you're going to go work out 10% of 100. Now there's different ways of working out 10% of 100. You could say, you could just type in 10%. You must put the percent on your calculator, multiplied by 100. You could also say 10 over 100, because when you divide by 100, then you're getting rid of the percentage sign, and then you can multiply it by the price. That'll also work. So however you want to do it, it doesn't matter. If you do this correctly, you should end up getting 10 Rand. Okay? 10 Rand. So John is going to earn 10 Rand per year, because you see here the 10% is per year. Now, because we're doing simple interest, you're just going to take that 10 Rand and you're just going to multiply that by 3, because he's going to be investing for 3 years. And so he will earn a total of 30 Rand. And so after 3 years, his investment will be worth the money that he started with, which was 100 Rand, plus the 30 Rand that his money has now grown, and so he will have 130 Rand. That is how simple interest works. Okay, now compound interest is a little bit different. This is the way compound interest works. With compound interest, you have to go year by year by year. So for year number 1, so for the first year, you're going to say 10% of however much money he has. Now he starts with 100 Rand, so you're going to say 10% of 100 Rand. Now of means multiply, and that's going to give you 10 Rand. Okay, so in the first year, and that's the same as what we did for simple interest, but now you're not going to say times 3. What you're going to do now is you're going to see how much money will John have altogether after 1 year. So his total after 1 year is going to be the 100 Rand that he started with, plus the 10 Rand that he just earned, and so he now has 110 Rand after 1 year. Now you're going to do the same thing again, but you're not going to take 10% of 100 Rand. No, now you're going to take, when you go into year number 2, you're going to take 10% of the new amount, and the new amount is 110. So you're going to say 10% of the new amount, which is 110, and if you work that out, you're going to end up with 11 Rand. So for year number 2, he earns 11 Rand. So how much will he have at the end of year number 2? Well, you take how much he had at the beginning of year number 2, plus however much he earned in year number 2, and he now has 121 Rand. Now, when we go into year number 3, Well, let's put a little line over here. When we go into year number 3, we do the same thing. We're going to take 10% of the new amount, which is this one over here. So how much is that? Well, if you work that out, that's going to give you 12 Rand and 10 cents. So how much would he have at the total, or how much would he have at the end of year 3? Well, you would say 121, which is what he started with, plus 12 Rand and 10 cents. And so that's going to be 133 Rand and 10 cents. So which one was more easy to do? Well, obviously the one that is more simple. Simple interest is very easy. Whereas with compound interest, you have to go year by year by year by year. Okay, and so compound interest will always make your money grow a little bit faster. Here we have 130, here we have 133 Rand. Okay, so for the rest of this lesson, we're just going to practice this a little bit more. Just something I want to add. If you want to do simple interest year by year by year, that's also fine. The way that would work is that for year number 1, you would earn 10 Rand. So your money would go from 100 plus 10 Rand, and that would give you 110. For year number 2, you're not going to take 10% of this amount. No, you're still going to use 10 Rand. So you're going to say 110 Rand plus 10 Rand, and that's going to give you 120. And then for year number 3, you're still going to add 10 Rand, and that'll just give you 130. So you can do it step by step as you want, but you keep the 10 Rand all the way. Whereas in compound, you are going to change it. It becomes 10 Rand, then it became 11 Rand, and then it became 12 Rand 10. So it always changes with compound interest. Here's another example. And this is our last example for this lesson. A person borrows 10,000 Rand from the bank. Okay, so now this is where interest is bad, because you're going to borrow 10,000 Rand, but then you're going to end up paying back more. So this is where interest is not good, because now it's making you have to pay back more money. The bank charges 12% interest per year. The person needs to have all the money paid back in 2 years. Question A. Determine the total amount to pay back if we use simple interest. Okay, so simple interest is very easy. All you're going to do is work out what is 12% of the starting number, which is 10,000. Now remember, of means times. And if you had to go work that out, you end up with 1,200 Rand. But now that is going to be 1,200 Rand per year. So if there is 2 years, you're going to multiply that by 2, and that's going to give you 2,400 Rand. So then you just add that to the total. So the total will be, or the starting amount, so 10,000 plus 2,400, and that's going to be 12,400 Rand. That is how much you would pay back if you were using simple interest. If you wanted to go year by year, you could say year number 1, that would be 10,000 plus 1,200, and that would give you 11,200. Then for year number 2, you would say 11,200 plus 1,200 again, and that would give you 12,400 Rand. Now if we use compound, which is for this next part, then you're going to start off in the same way. So you're going to say, what is 12% of 10,000? And that's going to give you 1,200 Rand. Now with compound interest, you're not going to say times 2. What you're going to do is you're going to work out your total. So your total after the first year, after year 1, is going to be 10,000 plus 1,200, and that's going to give you 11,200. So the first year will be the same for simple and compound. But here's where things become different for compound. Because now, going into year number 2, you're going to take the 12%, but you're going to take it of this number. So you're going to say, what is 12% of 11,200? And if you work that out, you end up with 1,344 Rand. So that means that the total is now going to be 11,200, which is this one number, plus 1,344. And if you work that out, you end up with 12,500 544. So can you see that compound always grows faster? If we were using simple, the total was 12,400. If we're using compound, then the total is 12,544. So here we're going to say 12,400, and then here we're going to say 12,544.